Hey guys.
Hey guys.
1.7 day 2. You ready for this?
Yeah, you need to be on page, hold on,
Looking for it.
61.
Okay.
All right. Oh, it looks pretty.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when we're adding and subtracting in scientific notation, they have to have the same exponent.
Yes.
Next to that 10 has to be the same number, okay?
So you'll hear us reference the same form, and what we mean by that is the exponent number.
So if you want to, let's just talk about same form.
Okay.
So let's say we have 2.9 times 10 to the third.
Okay.
The same form would be
3.1 times 10 cubed.
Yep. So we have the same exponent. So obviously not the same form is going to be, let's do 2.9 times 10 to the third. And then something different, 3.1 times 10 to the second. Good.
They're very close, not the same.
Not the same. But here's the thing. You can change them so they are in the same form.
Okay.
All right.
So write this down here. If you move left, it's going to throw you off. If you move left, you add
To the exponent.
to the exponent. If you move right, so this is different than the number line,
You're going to subtract from the exponent. You'll see what we mean in just a second.
okay?
All right.
Got it.
So let's look at example 3. Look at what they've done. We're doing 6.89 times 10 to the 4th plus 9.24 times 10 to the 5th.
Okay.
So those are not in the same form. One has a 4, one has a 5. So we are going to change the one with the 4, I'm sorry, with the one with the 5, we're going to move it down one, okay? So notice how they've moved the decimal one place to the right.
So move it to the right.
Boom. So they subtracted 1 from the exponent. So now it's 92.4 times 10 to the 4th.
Right.
Then you can see,
Then you combine your like terms.
okay, combine
solve
those
it out.
and solve it out.
Yep.
Now, look at the step 4. This is not scientific notation because
That number has to be between
0.
1 and 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, 0 and 10, right?
0 and 10.
Okay. Well, 1 and 10.
1 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back off, Rich.
I know. It has to be less than 10. Let's just say that. Okay. So to do that, they're going to move that decimal place to the left, and then they're going to add 1 to the exponent, and that's where we get 5. So 9.929 times 10 to the 5th.
There you go.
Okay, same example down below, number 4. They did not give us scientific notation, so the first thing we had to do is change that 11 million into scientific notation.
Your decimals at the end, move it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that's where that 7 comes from. And now we have to change the form. So we changed 7.83 times 10 to the 8th. Move that
Move it
decimal
down.
Look, move that decimal one place to the left. I'm sorry, to the right.
To the right.
Good grief, Richardson. And then I'm going to
Left means
add. No, we went to the right.
Oh, come on, Whit.
You're right. You did it right.
Oh,
But you said left.
oh.
So we moved it to the right.
There we go.
And we're going to subtract. There we go. So that's how we get it down to the same form. Bada bing, bada boom.
Same thing applies here, not in scientific. Move it over to the left, then you add, and we're there.
Okay, so now we want you to try it out. Okay? Well, I guess here's a whole nother example. Again, it's the same thing as number 4. So read through those steps. You can see how they've changed it. We are going to ask you to pause.
One more time.
If you move the decimal left, add. If you move the decimal right, you subtract to the exponents. Okay, pause the video and try these on for size. Okay, you guys ready to try it out? We're going to go through it with you to make sure you did things wrong. So if you get the wrong answer, you can see where your mistake is. Okay, so in number D, different forms.
Right. Exponents, one's 3, one's a 4. Not going to work.
So which one do you want to change?
So should we take the 3 up or 4 down?
Whichever one you want.
Okay, let's do 4 down.
Got it. All right, so we're going to take the 4 down to the 3. So that means I need to.
So I need to take the 4 down. So I'm going to subtract 1. So I go to my little key. Subtract means I need to move
right.
One
place. Okay, so now it's 8.41 times 10 to the 3rd. And then plus 97.1 times 10 to the 3rd.
You got it.
Okay, now let's highlight those two. I'm going to add that plus that.
Notice how I highlighted the plus sign as well. And then I'm going to, well, that's all I need to highlight, right? Okay.
All right, so 8.41 plus 97.1.
So guys, just make sure, I know that you're not actually going to show us that in the or you're not actually going to add those up for us, but just make sure that you,
105.51.
thank you, just make sure that you are showing us what you're doing and
Mhm.
how you're getting that answer. Okay,
Okay.
can I write that on the line?
No, that's not in scientific
Ah.
notation because it is greater than 10.
Okay,
So I need to move that decimal place 2 places to the left
okay, why not 1?
because if I moved it to right there, that would still be 10.551.
That'd be greater than 10.
It'd be greater than 10.
There we go.
Move it over one more.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 1.0551. And I moved 2 places left, so check my chart.
So something with a 2.
I'm going to add because I moved left. So it's going to be 10 to the 5th. Write it on the line.
Oh. So how are we doing, guys?
I think it's going great.
Yeah.
1.0551 times 10 to the 5th.
Again, make sure that 5 is up there.
Way up there.
Okay.
All right, let's look at number E. I think that we should take are we taking the 7 up to a 9? Or we take the 9 down to a 7?
I don't care.
It doesn't really matter.
Surprise me.
Okay, well, let's take the 9 down to a 7.
Okay. So
Okay.
that means I'm going to subtract 2. So if you guys want to work backwards here, 9 minus 2 is 7.
Mhm.
So I know that.
So I subtracted, means I got to move my decimal place to the right.
Okay.
2 places. So
So here,
bump, bump.
so I
So
have
126.3 times 10 to the 7. And then the minus 1.525 times 10 to the 7.
You got it. Do they have the same form?
They do, because they both have a 7 as their exponent.
Rock on.
So I'm going to subtract those two. So
Again, I highlighted the subtraction. That minus is the same thing as subtraction.
So 126, and I'll write down the answer because the calculator keeps disappearing on us. Minus 1.525. 124.775. 124.775. Red flag already. That number is greater than 10.
Okay.
So I need my decimal to be right in between the 1 and the 2. Awesome. I moved left 2 places. So check my chart in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to add 2. Awesome. And I'm going to end up with 9.
So then you write it up here. 1.24775
times 10 to the 9th.
Awesome.
One more problem. All right, last one. Oh, this one isn't already in scientific notation.
Oh, I have to do extra work.
Oh, man.
It's all right, peeps.
Okay, so I want my decimal to be right in between the 2 and the 7.
Yep.
So how many places will that make me move? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 2.7 times 10 to the 6th. Okay, not the same form. Wah, wah.
So in here, since you've already done some work, you can rewrite this. So just that you have a clean space to work on, plus 2.7 times 10 to the 6th.
Okay, let's take the 2.7 down to 5. What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1 to get it down to 5. When I subtract, that means I move right. So I'm going to move that one over. So now I have 6.3 times 10 to the 5th plus 27 times 10 to the 5.
You got it.
Now,
Oh,
you can't highlight green
I
with
know.
green.
I was like, oh, good luck, kiddos.
All right, so 6.3 plus 27,
Again, just grab your calculator.
33.3. I can remember that. Times 10 to the 5th. Nope, can't write it on the line. Move it so you have one number in front of the decimal. And I moved left, so I'm going to add.
Okay.
So it's 3.33 times 10 to the 6th.
Awesome.
And we got it right. I'm writing it on the line. And we've got one slide. What is that?
I know, it's a 6.
It's a 6.
Sorry, peeps.
All right. So, oh, can you move that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the black box you've already done.
Done.
So
So
now
we're on page 62.
still,
Yep.
again, so you're going to do those 4 problems down at the bottom. This is what we're checking when you walk into class.
Show your work.
Show it.
We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.